Hi, this is Gary. This is behind the design of Four Seasons 24F. Well, I get sort of pigeonholed as doing a very contemporary kind of thing, and certainly this apartment is that. I do a lot of different things and kind of rely on classic understanding of space and all to make sure that the space isn't like cold and hard. When the building was announced, my client Tara put a deposit down immediately because she thought it would be great to have a place in town and a pied-à-terre. So as the steel went up on the building, she wanted to have a view of the dome of the Humboldt Bank building, which is out the window right over there, one of the few survivors of the 1906 earthquake and fire. So we rode the construction cage elevator up the outside of the building, and it was a toss-up between 24 and 25. And Chara preferred 24 because you saw the view of the dome straight on, and it was a very kind of surreal experience. It's gonna sound strange, but I think the biggest challenge is that corner because it is not a 90-degree angle. And it felt really odd in that it was more like 120 degrees, and there wasn't any way to place furniture in that space that created a comfortable seating and conversational environment. So what we ended up doing was designing the carpet in a series of parallelograms that got larger as you came away. So it changed your perspective and your understanding of the space and allowed us to place the furniture in a more conventional way. As I mentioned before, the carpet was the solution to a problem that we had about the angle of this corner, which made for really awkward seating arrangements. So what we did was a series of parallelograms that started small in the corner and got larger as they went out to the other side. It's 3 separate colors of beige, then with a cut pile with a loop in between to make it kind of look like tile, and to give a sense of the space being a little bit worked. These pole lamps are by an Italian company called Venini. They're considered one of the finest glass makers in Italy. And each one of the spheres represents a different glass blowing technique that was invented in Venice. I think one of the most misunderstood things is that interior designers are coming in and wanting to create a look for people. And any of the professionals that I know or that I've socialized with, the look is important, of course, but it's really creating a space that functions properly for the client, that gives them what they need and allows them to use the property in the way that is best for them. So, since this was really more of a gallery than it was a daily living environment, there were a lot of domestic concerns that we didn't have to worry about too much. And so understanding the space and creating a more open space with more walls that would allow for the display of the various kinds of things that she wanted to show here. This is the pipe that we were unable to move because the kitchen originally came all the way to the windows here. So we just decided to clad it in white and be done with it. Now the floors are white epoxy, and this was the same kind of epoxy that is used in biotech labs. We had one of those really unseasonably hot days when they started doing this. So they started at the front door, they worked their way around, and then when they got back to the front door, to finish it had set up. It was so you could see the lap marks. So we ended up having to do it a second time. We had to wait till it cooled off. We had the carpet woven to match the grid of the tile so that the carpet is wool and silk and the grout lines in the thing are white silk that matches the grout in the tile. And anybody who's ever tried to work with fabrics and textiles know that they stretch and shrink. It took those poor carpet installers 3 days to get those things lined up. I never told the client that till after it was done.